Hi everyone, Jana here. Before I get started on my favorite games, which is what I decided to do this video for, I had to tell you that I don't have really an uploading schedule planned out because I'm just starting out, and I really don't want to think about that right now because I have to wake up super early tomorrow to go to work, and then at the end of the month I will be going to the Poconos. It's highly unlikely I'll be taking my laptop with me, so when that comes around, and depending on how often I've uploaded between then and now, there might be a bit of a dry spell. It also depends on how eager I am to do this, how often I want to do it. So yeah. Getting started with my favorite games, like I said in the last video, I am a huge fan of Sengoku Basara. I have the third game for the Wii, which is Sengoku Basara Samurai Warriors. I feel Capcom kind of screwed us over with this series. It's so good. It's a good fighting game. It's a good hack and slash game. And you'd think that with the success that they had with Devil May Cry, they'd actually want us Western fans to enjoy Sengoku Basara, which is hugely popular over in Japan. However, some of you may already know, if you're fans of the series, that with the first game, the English localization team really mucked it up. They changed the names and they took out any reference to the Sengoku period that the game is based on. And that just didn't go over so well with us Western fans. So we never ended up getting number 2. We were lucky enough to get 3, but it wasn't advertised very well. It took me quite a while to find it in my local GameStop. I was fortunate enough one day to go in there and there it was, so I snatched it up as quick as I could. And the funny thing is that since then I've seen multiple copies of it for the PS3, which were for some reason a lot easier to find than the Wii, but we didn't have the PS3 at the time. Another game I like is Skyrim. I don't know why I never got into it a lot sooner, because I do believe it came out in 2012. With it being 2015, I'm like 3 years way late. With Skyrim, the thing that I actually started to enjoy very much is the open world aspect, the sandbox aspect. I've been playing most of the games that are very linear, so Skyrim was kind of intimidating because it's so big and open. But I really like it. I like the main quest line. I love a lot of the quest lines, especially the Civil War. I will tell you right now that I am a Stormcloak. I support the Stormcloaks wholeheartedly because, well, for one thing, I guess it's because I'm American. We love stories about rebels. We like stories where you have a group of people who are willing to go up against the status quo, or the ruling class, or or in this case, an empire. And admittedly, the empire has grown very weak because of the Eldmiri Dominion. A lot of people don't like Ulfric Stormcloak simply because they accuse him of being racist and really not caring or even thinking about what this means for Skyrim as a whole. However, some of those arguments fall flat, especially his racism. A lot of the things that people accuse Ulfric of doing, he never did. His ancestors did that, like the separation of the Dunmer and the Argonians. Yeah, I just don't buy that he was really responsible. And also, in reality, when you're dealing with something that huge, you gotta concentrate on the large picture threats before you can take care of small picture problems. I'm probably gonna save that for another video. So, on to the next series I really like. I love Kingdom Hearts, like I said before in my first video. I've been a fan ever since I saw a family friend's son play it, and I decided to check it out. I have never beaten the first game, on the PS2 or otherwise, because for some reason, at least with the PS2 version, the controls were difficult. Especially the camera control. I don't know why it was not on analog stick, but it wasn't. Um, but the second game I've beaten numerous times, and I also have the HD remixes of all of them for the PS3. And I also have Dream Drop Distance and Birth by Sleep, both on the PSP and for the PS3. I haven't played the coded games. I haven't really been able to find coded, and I also struggled with playing 358 over 2 days, which was the DS title. It's only because some of the missions were sneaking missions and I suck at stealth. I'm really looking forward to what Kingdom Hearts 3 has in store. I'm probably not going to be able to play because I don't have a PS4. The only reason why me and my sister even have our PS3 was because our brother was getting rid of it. So he gave it to us as sort of like a last-minute Christmas gift last year. So Kingdom Hearts 3 will probably end up being a game I will be watching on YouTube. Same will go for the Final Fantasy VII Remake when it's released. I think they're saying in 2017, which will make it 20 years since its initial release in 1997. Again, I don't have a PS4, I won't be able to play it, but if I can watch it and see how it holds up compared to the original, I will be very happy. Unlike most Final Fantasy VII fans, I probably won't be completely anal about how the story's going to be and all that jazz. I did hear that they're going to be tweaking the story a little bit. I'm perfectly fine with that, especially because of the compilation. They're going to need to make some reference at least to Genesis and Deep Ground, thanks to Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus. Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite games. I've known about Final Fantasy VII since its release, but I never really got into the game or the compilation until 2006, when I decided to get Advent Children, and I now own that movie. I'm hoping to get Advent Children complete someday. If you remember from my last video, my cat's name is Tifa. Tifa Lockhart's one of my favorite characters. I am a Clarith fan. I support Cloud and Aerith. There seems to be a lot of evidence for it officially than there is Clotey. However, that said, I don't mind if you ship Clotey. I just want you to respect the fact that I am a Clarith. I also want to assure you that because I'm a Clarith, that doesn't mean I hate Tifa. I just told you I love her character, and I named my cat after her. You probably figured that out for yourself. I named my cat after her. I went to the Humane Society for the express interest of getting a black cat and naming her that. Another one of my favorite Final Fantasy games is Final Fantasy IV. I played the DS version of the game, and that was the one that actually put Liam O'Brien on the map for me, because he's Kane Highwind. I love Kane like crazy. I seem to be drawn to characters with tragic stories like his, because he's the one who didn't get the girl. But initially, before Golbez, or Zemus for that matter, really got a hold of Kane, he was content not to say anything at all, because his friendship with Cecil and Rosa mattered more. I'll probably be talking more about that in a later video. Another Final Fantasy game that I like is Final Fantasy XII. I have never played it, but I have watched it. And my favorite characters there are the von Ronsenberg twins, Bosch and Noah, also known as Gabranth. Gabranth I really like because he knows what he is. He knows he's a pawn of the Empire that destroyed his homeland of Landis. But he seemed driven to punish Bosch for supposedly abandoning him and their mother and fleeing to Dalmasca when Landis fell. But in the end he came around, and Bosch forgave him for impersonating him at the beginning of the game and ruining him. I have never played the Lightning trilogy, but I've seen a lot of it already on YouTube. And my favorite character from that particular trilogy is Caius. A lot of people say that Kefka was the greatest Final Fantasy villain because he destroyed the world. I have to contend that actually Caius beats him out. Kefka may have destroyed the world, but Caius destroyed everything, seen and unseen. He destroyed the entire universe. If that doesn't make him better than Kefka, I don't know what does. What other games do I like? I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan. I played them all except for the first one, Liberation, and Unity. Unity, again, being a PS4 title. I will not be able to play it, but I do intend to watch it eventually. Liberation was a Vita-only title. I never owned a Vita, but since the Americas collection came out, I'm gonna be buying that eventually. I haven't beat Assassin's Creed 3 yet because the final chase with Charles Lee, I just kept failing. So I ended up rage quitting that one, and I haven't gone back yet. But I'll probably get back to it eventually when I get the Americas collection. I've beaten Black Flag. I love Black Flag. I've beaten Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations. I'm actually playing through Brotherhood again right now, and I'm kind of stuck. Revelations, I know, wasn't really the strongest in the trilogy, but damn, if the story wasn't bittersweet. After all, we're playing Ezio as an old man, and then we actually go back to where it all began with Altair. We play through Altair's later life, and then we see him die at the age of 92, which in his day and age just didn't happen. But I guess it was just the fact that we played through his final moments that just made the feels hit so frickin' hard. Because he locks himself in the library, and you know that once he sits down, he's not getting up again. Altair's game may not have been the best because it was the first one, and therefore it was actually like a prototype for the games to come. But to me, Altair is the quintessential assassin. He's the very first one. He's the one that introduces you to this entire lore. The funny thing about Assassin's Creed is that it's a gigantic conspiracy theory. And I will tell you right now that I hate conspiracy theories. A lot of them make almost no sense. A lot of them are only based on conjecture. They have absolutely no proof. So I'm really not the best person to debate conspiracy theories with because I can't debate very well. It's actually kind of sad when I try to, because even when I'm right, I end up losing the debate simply because I can't keep my cool. But getting sidetracked like I warned I would. I really can't think of any other games that I really enjoy playing aside from Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, Assassin's Creed, Skyrim. But even though I haven't really played some of them, I'm also a bit of a Devil May Cry fan, and I'm also kind of into Resident Evil. Not as much as anything that I've played or watched. Oh, Pokemon. Huge Pokemon fan, and you might actually see this come in, but I was a fan of Pikachu before Pokemon. I still have a lot of the cards that I had since I was a kid, including my very first card, which was a Pikachu card. Will never trade that one for anything. When it comes to generations, I have played Gens 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. I've never been able to play Gen 3 because we didn't have our Game Boy Advance long enough for me to get either Ruby or Sapphire. But since Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out, I have, and also the remakes, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, I now have a game for every single region that was introduced, with Soul Silver being a twofer. My favorite generation would probably have to be 5, because it's just interesting how it reflects an actual real-world problem that we have nowadays. I'm probably going to need to end this year, but probably next video I will probably be discussing more about why I like Gen 5 and pretty much everything I like about Pokemon. So I will see you next time. This is Jana signing out.